B 213.
Madam Speaker, there has been no committee set up to consider the reform of the universal pension per se. However, following a cabinet decision taken on the 19th of August 2016, a high-level committee on pension reforms was set up under the chairpersonship of the then Minister of Social Security, National Solidarity and Reform Institutions, comprising the Attorney General, the Minister of Social Integration and Economic Empowerment, the Minister of Gender Equality, Child Development and Family Welfare, the Minister of Labour, Industrial Relations and Employment, the Minister of Civil Service and Administrative Reforms, and the Minister of Financial Services, Good Governance and Institutional Reforms. It also included representatives of the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, a representative of the National Pensions Fund, 2 representatives of Business Mauritius, and 4 representatives of trade unions, namely 2 from the public sector and 2 from the private sector. The aim of this committee is to, inter alia, firstly, have an in-depth examination of the existing pension system and understand how it will be impacted upon in the medium to long term. Secondly, look into ways and means to improve the contributory retirement pension of private sector employees. And thirdly, advise on the best mechanism to ensure the sustainability of our pension system. The high-level Committee on Pension Reforms met on 3 occasions, namely the 22nd of September, the 12th of October, and the 28th of October 2016. Subsequently, a technical committee was set up on the 28th of October 2016 by the high-level committee under the chairpersonship of the then Permanent Secretary of my ministry, comprising the Commissioner for Social Security of my ministry, 2 representatives from the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, a representative from the Ministry of Civil Service and Administrative Reforms, a representative from the State Law Office, a representative from Statistics Mauritius, 2 experienced economists, 2 persons with professional qualifications in the field of pension, actuarial science, and fund management, 2 representatives of Business Mauritius, and 2 representatives of trade unions. The terms of reference of the technical committee are, among others, to examine the existing old age pension system, secondly, to analyze current trends in the number of basic retirement pension beneficiaries and the cost of basic retirement pension, to work out the likely cost implications of basic retirement pension in the short, medium, and long term. Fourthly, make recommendations to the high-level committee. This technical committee has met on 5 occasions, namely the 25th of November 2016, 9th December 2016, 13th and 27th January 2017, and 17th of March 2017. Madam Speaker, in my reply to PQ B39 of the 28th of March 2017, I stated that the technical committee would first focus on matters which are having a significant impact on the retirement benefits of Mauritians and on public finances. Namely, firstly, the contributory pension system and the National Pensions Fund, especially as regards the remuneration ceiling currently applicable, and secondly, the issues related to universal old age pension. As regards Part B of the question, I wish to inform the House that the chairperson of the technical committee has come to me with a proposed set of recommendations to be circulated to the technical committee members for discussion. I was, however, not too satisfied therewith, and I have requested him to review the set of recommendations prior to circulation to the technical committee members.
The Honourable Minister repeated almost verbatim what he stated in answer to B39. So my question was very simple. Since last year's report, since last year's reply, you yourself, Honourable Minister, stated that the technical committee is expected to meet again in April. That was April 2017. So I know from the Honourable Minister, why is it that since 17th of March 2017, this technical committee has not met?
Madam Speaker, the Honourable Member must pay more attention to my previous reply, because it's not a verbatim reply. In my reply to PQB 39, I also drew the attention of the House that this problem is a long-standing problem which requires in-depth analysis and examination. Now, the chairperson of the committee has come up, as I said, and this was not in my reply of last time, with a proposed set of recommendations to be circulated to the technical committee members for discussion. Indeed, when I gave my reply on the last occasion, it was contemplated that the technical committee would meet in April. However, the set of recommendations, that is the options which were being proposed to me for onward circulation to the committee members, was not to my satisfaction, and I requested the chairperson to review them prior to onward circulation.
I'm terribly sorry to hear what the Honourable Minister has said. If I understood correctly, there is a technical committee which was set up before he became minister. This technical committee consists of very highly qualified people. And today we hear that because the Honourable Minister is not happy with what the chairman of that committee is saying, so the technical committee has no longer any raison d'être, it's not meeting. So in other words, it is the Honourable Minister who will come with any proposal. Why do we have a technical committee then?
That is not at all what I have said. What I have said is that the subject matter of the options and recommendations to be actually circulated to the technical committee have to be reviewed. Now, maybe I'll make myself clearer, because this is what too often happens. We lead this country into the wrong direction. If the House wants to know why I found the options and recommendations not to be to my satisfaction, is because the options and recommendations which were being shown to me only concerned cuts in expenditure for old age people. And as a responsible government, this government is not prepared to lightly envisage cuts whatsoever in the payment of pensions to old age people. If this is something which would happen, it has to be something which is nationally endorsed by everyone. This government does not believe that cuts should be made to the payment of pensions to old age people. That is why I requested the chairperson, and I believe I was right in doing so, to go and review his recommendations, to go and review his options, and to go and consider other options than simply cuts, either cuts in pensions or else extending the age of payment of pension. This is something which to me is not acceptable.
I would like to ask the Minister if the technical committee has considered the effect of low birth rate in our country and its future impact on the payment of old age pension.
Now, Madam Speaker, in fact, this is why people shouldn't just take lightly that this committee is just going to come up with a miracle solution. In fact, it is a matter, as I said last time in my reply to question B39 to Honourable Ganou. It is a difficult and complex question. It is a long-standing issue, and in fact, the figures which I have are in fact, how should I say, incredible, extraordinary. The number of pensioners benefiting from basic retirement pension is projected to increase from 197,000 in June 2016 to 354,500 in 2056. That is an increase of 80%. And the actual amount of basic retirement pension, based on today's figures, compared from 2016 to 2056, would increase by 93%. And what happened is that technical committee said, well, let's cut expenditure to balance the figures. We are saying there must be other avenues, look into them, and they have agreed that there are other avenues which may be looked into, and they are doing that.
Do we know what these other avenues are, Madam Speaker?
Well, first of all, doing the same exercise on economic growth. If our GDP growth is 3.3%, I'll owe 3.5 or 3.7 or 3.9. It has actually a consequence on the amount of money we can pay to our old age pensioners. If our birth rate increases from 1.4%, which is what it is now, to 1.6, 1.8, there is a difference. The norm today in the world is 2.1. All these options had not been looked into, and I have asked them to do so.
What is the minister doing to increase the birth rate? May I ask him?
Question on this issue, Honorable Bulel.
You're very keen to increase that.
Madam Speaker, in the light of what the minister has stated on sustainability of pension scheme, can I ask him to submit a list of portfolio where investment has been made? We are talking of sound investment, and I hope the investment which has been made is sound.
Well, I would request the honourable member to come with a substantive question, because, as a matter of fact, this is a committee which is chaired by the Finance Secretary. It's better that he comes up with a substantive question. And I must inform the honourable leader of the opposition that I am contributing quite a lot in my family to do whatever has to be done.
Next question, Honorable Uteem.